Hi, English 9. It's Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda. I hope you enjoyed your long, wonderful 4-day weekend. I know I did. And I hope you're also refreshed and ready to start with session 2 of the definition essay. It is due on the 22nd before midnight. And so last week, I had a lot of fun reading your discussion posts on your parents' definitions of things like good manners and curfew was a hot topic and healthy eating. And you could see from the discussion how very different your definitions were from your parents. And so we really need to think about why definitions to people are so different. And that's because of your experiences and your expectations. So, a definition essay is something that is really based on your own experiences. So, we're going to be talking a lot more about that this week. We're going to be really diving into what a definition essay is, and more specifically, what a extended definition essay is, because that's really what this essay is. It's not just a definition, it's not just defining an idea, it's an extended idea, an extended definition of what a concept, idea, or term really means. But before we dive into all that, couple announcements. Remember, I mentioned this last week, but we do have parent-teacher conferences, virtual and face-to-face. So remember, you get extra credit if you come. But those are all of the links to use for the virtual parent-teacher conference on Tuesday. Also, here's a list of our assignments this week, as well as the suggested schedule for the week. So to begin, like I mentioned, last week we began our inquiry with our discussion, and we're going to continue our inquiry of what a definition essay really is. And so we're going to be reviewing these, or we're going to be using these questions to guide our learning this week. I got a stuffy nose, excuse me. So to begin our lesson this week, we're going to be talking about new words in our lexicon. So every year, new words are added to the dictionary for our society because of culture and just because of things that are going on in our society. And one of the words that is new to our dictionary last year was fracking. And we're all very familiar with that term and definition here in Colorado. So what I want you to do is I want you to check out this online resource, the Webster Online Dictionary. And I want you to choose one appropriate word. There's lots of inappropriate nature of words, but choose one appropriate word, use it in a sentence, and then in your own words, try to define that word and try to use details, examples, personal experiences, negation, which means describing what it is not, or comparisons. These are all different ways that you can define a word. And you're going to be using these strategies in writing your essay starting next week. Okay? And be sure to respond to 2 other students in the discussion board. So, we started our inquiry again last week with the definition essay, and we're going to continue learning more about it through reading several essays. Down here, you can see at least 5 different essays and all definition essays. So what I want you to do is read 3, if not all, at least 3. And as you read, you start noticing what definition essays always, sometimes, and never include. You'll be jotting down these ideas and noticings on the next page. Or in 2 pages, actually. Okay? So now that you've read some example or mentor text, it's time to create a detailed definition for the definition genre, which is kind of ironic. So be sure to watch this video right here on the definition essay. And with that, complete this chart. Definition essays always, sometimes, or never. And what you can do is just copy and paste it and put it into a word processing program, or you can use Google Docs, but make sure you have at least 3 qualities for each of these categories. And then you're going to submit it into the discussion board here on the next page. And as you add the your noticings, be sure to check out all the other noticings of your peers. This isn't a discussion board in the sense of, you have to respond. If you want to, you definitely can. But this is more for us to be creating a class definition of what a definition essay is. We're creating a definition of a definition. So elements of definition can be found in nearly every genre. And, there can be parts of a definition in any essay. So, a great hook is to define a term and then go into almost any other idea, okay? But the thing that is very different about this genre is that the sole purpose is not is only to define that term, whereas other essays can use parts of it. A definition essay focuses specifically on studying and crafting an extended definition. So anytime a writer comes to a personal understanding of a concept, they're creating a definition. So they might be answering questions like, what does love mean? What is the true nature of happiness, for example? Or how can bravery mean more or something different than people usually think? So you're going to be really answering these bigger questions in an extended definition essay. And I don't know if, I just came across this and I just realized, I don't know if you guys even remember these Love Is cartoons, but they were all the rage when I was a kid, and I'm sure they're not anymore. But I thought that was pretty cute. So that is really, anyway, and the idea of an extended definition is really focusing on that concept or idea, and that is the sole purpose of that essay. And again, answering these, understanding these concepts, really answering a bigger idea. Definition essays also integrate one or more organizational patterns. So they don't all look the same, as you've been noticing from your readings this week. And writers can define a term by incorporating two or more of the following strategies. So they can show it in relationship to another idea, so compare and contrast. They can tell a story demonstrating ideas and terms, and that is a chronological narrative. They can divide an idea by term by separating it to parts, by placing it into particular categories. Like, for example, in the video that you will have watched in the previous slide, literature, and then is the category then subdivided into poetry or nonfiction. Mentioning what the term or idea is not in order to define what it is. And that's called a negation. So you're talking about the opposite of what it really is. And then you can also discuss the results, effects, and uses of that subject or idea. So these are all different strategies that you can use in your organizational pattern when you are writing your definition essay. So now that you have a pretty good idea of what makes a quality definition essay, before you begin writing and thinking about your own next week, you're going to select a touchstone text to help you guide and organize your writing for the rest of this unit. And you can choose any of the essays from from session 1 or session 2. So choose one text that is your example text, and then do a close study of that essay. Answer all of these questions from using your touchstone text as your example text. And then each question, remember to answer in complete and thoughtful sentences using PIA. And then submit it here on the next page. Okay? And then next week, like I mentioned, we're going to be jumping in to starting to write and research your own definition essay. If you have any questions this week, please let me know. Thanks.